building. How's everybody doing? Gonna talk some boxing. The topic, of course, is how Oscar and Jake Paul are actually borrowing the Mayweather Greenprint. So the Mayweather Greenprint is pretty much this: Floyd Mayweather, he faced Conor McGregor in the boxing ring. People were saying, criticizing that, saying, "Oh, Floyd gonna beat Conor very easily, and this should not even be a sanctioned fight." Okay. But then we see now Oscar De La Hoya, who had criticized Floyd versus Conor McGregor, having a similar fight. And it is a sanctioned fight. He would be facing Vitor Belmont, who is a UFC heavyweight champion right now, and was UFC also light heavyweight champion. He had also been in Strikeforce and other places. Southpaw fighter. But USC striker. We all know USC strikers. It's not the same thing. Striking in UFC is not the same thing as striking in boxing. Okay, it's just not. Okay, and quite frankly, Oscar's trying to build this fight as something really big because Oscar's coming back from not boxing in a long time. But this is easy work for Oscar. Oscar's going. He might stop this dude. Okay, it's supposed to be an 8 rounder. And once Oscar's got the conditioning to go 8 rounds, he's gonna stop that dude. Oscar's fought Shaq. He's fought guys much bigger than himself. You know what I mean? So this ain't nothing new. Uh, he got some fighting skills in him. His stand up game's pretty good. So Oscar just borrowing off of the Floyd Mayweather model. Okay. Conor McGregor was the hottest thing in MMA. He was actually the greatest MMA fighter at the time. Um, and it avenged his loss against. I think he avenged his loss against those two brothers, man, Nate and Nick. I forgot their surnames. But he had avenged his loss against. Was it Nate or Nick? I can't remember which one. And so he came up against Floyd. Okay, it was the hottest thing. People believed that he could cross over. Now we know that you can cross over from MMA to boxing. We saw Anderson Silva do it, beating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Um, we've seen an MMA fighter beat Paulie Malignaggi. It was in bare knuckle brawling, but nonetheless he beat him. Questionable that he beat him, but nonetheless. Anderson Silva was a clear win. So what has opened the door? Floyd has done this actually. Floyd has opened this door for MMA and boxing to coexist and actually cross over with each other. Now, Jake Paul's taking advantage of that situation. Jake Paul's not really a boxer right now. I mean, he's really sincere about boxing, but he hasn't fought any official boxers so far. So amateurs, people playing around with boxing. He's fought guys who are athletes, MMA fighter, and he's going to be fighting another MMA fighter, right? He's basically borrowing that green print that Floyd's opened the door for. Floyd opened the door for these crossover fights. And let me tell you how exciting that is. We see people tuning in to TikTok versus, I forgot what the other name of the thing is, TikTok versus Snapchat or something like that. Those fights with just ordinary people who are getting into the boxing ring, gloving up and fighting each other. And these are shorter fights. And what's cool about it is a lot of people are getting involved in boxing. They're actually throwing hands in boxing. That's what's so cool about it. Now, the premier part of boxing is the professional fights in boxing. And Oscar De La Hoya decided to go into the premier fights in boxing the professional way. He didn't want it as an exhibition, which he's not getting criticized for it. Of course, he's not getting a lot of traction. People don't know that this is something Thriller's actually doing. Thriller's actually putting this on their app. Um, but it's not getting as much shine as say a Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. The whole world stopped and was like, "Okay, what is this?" And Conor McGregor was selling the fight like he could win, and on the Paulie stuff and all that. Um, you know, but still, by and large, what I'm saying is Oscar's borrowing off of that model. As much as he criticized Floyd, he's doing exactly what Floyd's doing, and he knows that dude don't stand a chance in the ring. ring against him. Just doesn't. And I've seen the guy. I've seen his work ethic. I've seen what he do. I've seen his sparring. I've seen all that. But that's not Oscar De La Hoya. And Oscar is going to be outweighed by probably about 20 pounds. Oscar might be 160 something going into the ring. The dude, or one, nah, Oscar might come in at 170 something because Oscar's pretty big. Walk around 180. The dude's gonna come in like 185, maybe 190, whatever. But at the end of the day, that dude stands no chance against Oscar De La Hoya. He's an MMA fighter. You're an MMA fighter, buddy. You might have played around with boxing, but you're an MMA fighter. And you ain't no Anderson Silva, okay? But anyway, he's strategic. He's thinking strategically, but this is not no Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., man. This is Oscar De La Hoya. And a very smart fighter, very good fighter. This guy's going to be easy work for Oscar. Oscar may box him. He may fight him toe to toe because he's going to test to see what kind of power the guy got, just like how Floyd tests to see how much power Conor got. They're MMA fighters. It's different. You may knock out guys with 4-ounce gloves in MMA, you know what I'm saying? But Oscar been carrying 10-ounce gloves, for most of his career in professional fights. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what kind of ounce gloves they're going to have. But Oscar hits a hell harder than that dude. I can tell you that right now. Because that's all Oscar do. All Oscar do his whole career, his whole life. The other guys talk about muscle memory and all these things. He doesn't understand. Oscar being a career boxer. He got more muscle memory than that dude. Any day, anytime. All day, every day. Okay? The dude looks muscle bound. He looks big and strong. But that's because he's a grappler and that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Oscar ain't built like that. If you look at Oscar is built with, he got big shoulders. Just look at that. This dude's built for boxing. Oscar's gonna kill him. All right, easy work for us. So yeah, Oscar's like what 48, almost 50, but he looks really good. He looks really in good shape. He has a nice attitude and everything. Oscar's selling the fight. He's trying to sell the fight. But I'm gonna just let y'all know right now. He just borrowing something from off of Floyd's blueprint. It's not as big a fight, but the guy's a UFC champion. Conor McGregor was a UFC champion. He was a champion in 2 divisions simultaneously. Conor McGregor, when he faced Floyd Mayweather. So McGregor, this other guy also similarly, not simultaneously, but he's a champion at heavyweight division. But he was a light heavyweight champion. So Oscar's just borrowing off of Floyd's blueprint, which I think is pretty cool. But if you step into a boxing ring, I don't care what you say, bro. You step into a boxing ring against Oscar or Floyd or Pacquiao or one of these elite fighters, you're not gonna win. You're just not gonna win. You can if they go into the octagon. Now, I give Clarissa Shields mad props. Clarissa Shields, she's following after the Amanda Serrano model. So Amanda Serrano, she went into MMA and started fighting MMA. The women are doing a lot more crazy shit than men are doing, actually, if you really think about it. Now, I don't know how many of you guys think about this, but, Bud said, man, I could fight Conor McGregor in the MMA ring. He said it. He did this. He talked, right? But Carissa and Amanda Serrano, they didn't just talk. They did it. Carissa said, I'm going to go in there, do some MMA fights. Then I'm looking to face Amanda Nunes. She not playing. Like everything she says, she's backing up. Okay? She went in there. She won her MMA fight. She even was on the ground with a grappler who could have really taken her out. And she had all those defensive maneuvers to avoid being grappled. Holly Holm, and they probably coached her. John Jones and the trainers and coaches down in New Mexico, Albuquerque. And she did an excellent job. And she's not even, she's not even very long in MMA. So just imagine, give her 2 years, she can be a killer in MMA. You know what I'm saying? Clarissa Shields, man, she really, I can't say enough about her, man. She is a dog. She could box. She got a tough mind. She does the impossible. I just wish these women would get paid, the right amount of money that men get paid. That's the only thing I ain't got a problem with. And I just wish she would get showcased a lot more. She's doing so much crazy shit right now, and nobody's giving her credit. I mean, Amanda Serrano, 7 division world champion. Y'all talk about Manny Pacquiao all the time. She's a 70, and she was a 7 division world champion. I think before Manny Pacquiao was the 8 division world champion or 7 division world. This woman be doing it, man. And y'all like, yeah, okay, it's a smaller pool of women and all of that, and yes, they're not as refined as men and all of that. I get it, but you cannot knock their accomplishments. These women are doing some phenomenal things, accomplishment wise, against other women. And that's something that needs to be respected. And we need to respect that. We need to reward that monetarily. And I'm glad that Amanda Serrano, she's going to be on the undercard of, I forgot which undercard we're talking about. I think it's Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. I think she's on the undercard of that. So, and that's going to be a Showtime. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that Carissa Shields should get a better deal with Showtime, because I really feel, and that's going to be a pay-per-view fight, actually. So Jake Paul, like, he's borrowing from the Mayweather model. He's going after MMA fighters. He's going after other fighters that are not necessarily boxers, but may have some boxing in their background. That's what Jake Paul's doing as well, and that's how he's making a bunch of money. So they're all in the money business, man. Oscar be making a little dime. He gonna make a little bit of change on Trilla. Jake Paul, he looking to get some turnover right there, while at the same time he's also trying to capitalize on his fan base, as well as he's also serious about boxing and trying to apply himself to boxing and get more into boxing, right? So I wanted to say all of this to say, y'all be knocking Floyd Mayweather, all y'all haters out there, y'all be knocking Floyd Mayweather for opening the door to make boxing more entertaining. He's been doing it time and time again. He's never made a mockery of the sport. He's always been trying to. If you look at Floyd, he's always on the cutting edge of something. He's always exploring the cutting edge of something. Now he's doing exhibitions. Now I hear Oscar saying, "I don't want to do no exhibition, bro. Logan Paul should never have faced an all-time great." That's stupid, man. Muhammad Ali faced a wrestler. He faced a football player. He faced a young amateur. Muhammad Ali was facing all kinds of guys. There's nothing wrong with exhibitions. Okay, if Oscar wanted to do a pro fight, fine. Once nobody knocking him, I ain't really hearing nobody knocking him for that. But I'm just saying that don't knock Floyd Mayweather, man. That's been the dude that's been opening these doors for you guys to make your money. You wouldn't be doing this crossover fight with Victor Belfont if it wasn't for the fact that Floyd fought Conor McGregor made so much money off it. Okay? And he continues to make a lot of money. He continues to hack a lot of dough in the fights that he has. And that's what a lot of people are mad about, that he makes so much money off his fights. That's what really they get mad about. They be making a lot of money. The man he's called Money Mayweather. He make a lot of money. Don't be jealous of the guy, because he can pull strings and he can make things happen. What you need to do, stay in your lane, because you end up doing the same things he doing. Oscar De La Hoya doing the same thing he doing. And that win's going to be on his record. And the dude's not even a boxer. You know what I'm saying? He got one pro fight in 2006. Okay, in Brazil. Okay, so let's just be real about it. You know what I'm saying? It's Brandon, and you're looking at name guys, and you're trying to get a name guy to go in the ring with you. We get it. All right, and the guy do well, he do well. I like how Carissa Shields and Amanda Nunes and Amanda Serrano, they crossed over. They literally said, "I'm gonna go in another domain and try and dominate." You know what I'm saying? I don't knock these MMA fighters for coming across the box, and I think that's huge on their part. I give them mad props for trying to show that they truly are MMA fighters, mixed martial arts, that they can do different genres or different forms of combat and be competitive in them. So I give them the props for that. However, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. The boxers who are in boxing, they supposed to win those fights. Okay? Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was supposed to beat Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva superseded all expectations. I'm looking forward to seeing him, because Victor Belfont, he was trying to get Oscar or Anderson Silva. He wanted to have a rematch for Anderson Silva, actually, in boxing this time, because he went across the boxing. And Tyron Woodley, he's getting an opportunity to do boxing for real. I don't know how far he'll go because he's kind of old, but you know, for real, this guy's trying to get a boxing career going and see how things work out. I think because these guys got a name brand, they didn't even need to go for world championships. They just need to go up to name guys and fight name guys. That's what I would do if I was Tyron Woodley. I look for a veteran name guy that I could test my skills against because you're kind of up there in age. And these sports are young man sports. They're not old man sports. He not gonna make it against no elite fighter. So that he might as well just you know persevere at the level that is much more realistic to him. That's just my thoughts on it. Same thing with Jake Paul. I don't think Jake Paul will ever be. Maybe he may have an opportunity. Let's see. He's fighting at what? He's fighting at Cruiser. He might have an opportunity at Cruiser. Might depending. Cruisers. I mean, I no, no, no. Maybe 5, 6 years from now. Nah, it's just not happening. You got to get somebody who's been a world champion to train you. And my dude, I like my dude who's training him, but he never been a world champion. Good boxer and everything, but now you got to get championship experience up in there to do that. I think. But that's all I had to say. I just wanted to say that. I know it took about 20 minutes, but nonetheless, that's what I want to say. I see somebody viewing my video. That's good. Shout out to whoever it is viewing my video. I'm gonna catch y'all guys later, but I just wanted to leave that thought there out there in YouTube land. All right, and we'll talk some more boxing and other things at a later time. I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace.